Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for Fear the Walking Dead Flight 462. And I figured if I was going to start watching Fear the Walking Dead again, this would be a good place to start since this was like the most recent thing I left off with when I had stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead. I had finished season 1, and then this aired shortly afterwards. Now, before I actually start reviewing this, I should this series of episodes. I should pretty much explain what this is because some people might not even know about this. Um, Pretty much what they did was after Fear the Walking Dead went off the air on AMC.com. I guess in like the UK version of it, they aired because these are the only places they really aired. They aired this weekly um, episodic um, episode of this season of Fear the Walking Dead, Flight 462, and it was pretty much a web series. It aired every week on the website, and they made people want to watch it. It was pretty much done right after Fear the Walking Dead ended, and I guess it was like promo packages during the 6th season of The Walking Dead. So that's pretty much what this was. It was kind of, I mean, I'm assuming this isn't unique because I'm assuming they've done this before, but it's the first time I've really seen this happen. I thought it was kind of nice, and I'll get into like what my overall thoughts of it was towards the when I review the episode and stuff, and I review these series of episodes. But these were pretty much 16 posts, but it wasn't like each episode was like a half hour long. Each episode, I didn't really watch the pulse individually. I found a YouTube clip that just had the pulse all meshed into one video, and that was about. Actually, I have the video right here. That was 14 minutes and 10 seconds. So I would imagine that these were probably like about a couple of minutes per clip or something. I'm assuming there was probably one that's longer. I think parts 1 through 8 are all one video, and then parts 9 through 10, sorry, parts 9 through 16 are all their own individual videos. So I don't really know exactly how long each of the web series actually is. But I'll go over like when these episodes came out. These were all aired in the span of from October 4th, 2015 until March 26th, 2016. And they actually have like a mid-season premiere and a mid-season finale. The mid-season premiere, I'll just it's weekly, so I'll go over the mid-season premiere, when that aired, and when the mid-season finale aired, and when the mid-season premiere aired, and when the mid-season finale aired. The mid-season premiere aired on October 4th, 2015, obviously because that's when it started. And the mid-season finale was on November 22nd, 2015, and then it was brought back. And the mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead Flight 462 aired on February 12th, 2016. And the mid-season finale was on March 26th, 2016. So they kind of aired around the same time, I think, when the season 6 of Walking Dead episodes were airing. I don't know if it was exactly. I think The Walking Dead went on a week after the mid-season finale aired a week after this one, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm probably mistaken. So that's, but it went on a pretty long. But it went on as if like it was a normal TV series, except it was just really short. So let's kind of talk about the this show. This little, I like to kind of call this like a short film, really, because that's kind of what this was. Overall, the production I thought looked pretty good for this show. You also have to kind of think of it. They probably wanted to make this aired since the apocalypse technically took place in the Walking Dead time frame, the zombie apocalypse, around 2010. So this looked like a movie or a TV show that would have aired around the time of 2010. So I thought that looked really cool. I kind of liked the little touches they had with the phones that were made around that time, and things like that. Um, so I thought that was nice. Um, and this aired on a plane. The whole episode was on a plane, pretty much, because it's called Flight 462. Obviously, it's going to be on a plane. Um, and I thought this was kind of cool because it makes you kind of think what you would do if a zombie apocalypse was taking place while you were flying out on a plane, while you were mid-air, in the air. So I kind of thought it was kind of stuff to think about, nice stuff to think about. So let's kind of go over this episode. It's kind of really tough to go into like too much detail about it. It probably won't take me very long to review this, so I'm just gonna see how it goes. But we meet this kid, Jake Powell, who was on this flight, and I don't think they ever really said where the plane was going. I think they brought it up once, and obviously it didn't end up hitting its destination. But yeah, they didn't really bring it up really that much. But we find out that he was he that him and his family are gonna go take a vacation. But his dad's already where the plane's gonna go because he's there for work, and his mom ended up not being able to attend the flight. She ended up having to, um, fly standby because they didn't have enough seats, which I would guess imagine would end up happening on a plane. So he's all worried about his mom, and he's texting her and stuff. Well, he calls her, and um, he gets kind of worried, and his mom tells him not to worry, nothing's gonna go on the flight. But then somebody starts getting sick on the plane, which we find out more about that later. And we also overhear something go on the outside, and he tries to look at it, and this woman who's right in front of him, who we have the suspicion that she knows, well, not really a suspicion, but we pretty much know that she kind of know that she fully knows what's going on, closes the window, and his mom kind of, I think, knew what was going on because she really wasn't. She was talking like she was very worried, but it was kind of like one of those instances where mothers try to not make themselves look worried. They want to make sure their kids, feel confident going into a situation. So she was kind of trying to do that, and then you had to hang up the phone because the plane was about to take off, and because it's 2010, even though you still have to do that now, the planes won't function very well with your while you're on your phone. So he had to turn his phone off. He tries to send his mom a text. It doesn't go through, and I think he was suspicious about that. But I really wasn't too suspicious about it because I didn't think the phone worked because the plane was taking off. And then um, the husband, who we find out his name is Marcus, the guy that's sick, goes in the bathroom and throws up. And um, the woman that we think know what's going on, we find out name is Alex, um, asks if ask Marcus's wife, who his name is, I don't know how to say the name, but oh wait, no, sorry, I do know how to say the name. Suzanne tells her to mind her own damn business, and Jake asks Alex if it has something to do with the flu that's been going around because in this Fear the Walking Dead, that was kind of what was going on. But then Alex is like, doesn't really give much of a response. She kind of ignores him and doesn't really want to give an answer. And then the plane's about to land, and Marcus still hasn't come out of the bathroom. So Deidre, I don't know if that's Deirdre, I don't know if that's how you say that at all, who was like one of the flight attendants and Susanna's wife, try to get him to come out because the plane's about to land, and um, when they open the door, they see that Marcus has passed out, um, and they do everything they can to try to revive him. They give him CPR, but since Alex kind of has an idea what's going on, they tell him to tie him down um, because she knows that he's going to turn into a walker and end up attacking everybody. But Anthony, who was very concerned, we find out who we had kind of seen throughout this series. Um, we find out he's a U.S. Marshal and he tells her to back off. But then Marcus turns into a walker and tries to attack everybody. But then Anthony puts him in a full Nelson and slams his head across the plane, in the inside of the plane, and locks him back in the bathroom. But then we find out that Deirdre had been scratched, so she's gonna turn, and Suzanne is very upset to see her husband in this type of state, and she wants to talk to him one last time. And when she doesn't hear him anymore, she thinks that he's passed away, so she opens the door, and he bites her. And Anthony tries to shoot him, but because he's a walker, it has no effect on him. So Alex tells him to shoot him in the head, but he runs out of bullets when he gets tackled to the ground, and Alex tries to kill him, but then they get into a ruckus, and Jake tries to pop up with a needle, but then Alex ends up stabbing Marcus with a sewing needle, and then we see that because of Anthony's bullets, one of the windows ended up breaking. So um, the flight the plane has to pretty much everybody has to pretty much jump out of the plane, and before that happens, Alex kills Suzanne, and everyone's very surprised about this. But and everyone's like, "Why did you do that?" And Alex says, "I saved her life because we knew she was going to end up turning." And everybody puts in the oxygen. But before this happens, Alex apologizes to Jake because she ended up taking his mom's spot on the plane. And Jake says she's probably with my dad right now, and Alex is like, "Don't worry, you're gonna be with your family soon enough." Because now they're gonna jump out at Los Angeles, where Fear the Walking Dead actually takes place. And then what we see was in one of the episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. I believe it was episode 4 or 3. I don't remember exactly which one. Um, Nick from the show was I think Nick Cloak is his last name. I could be mistaken. I can look. Let me just check. I want to make sure I have that right. Yep, Nick Cloak. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that. Actually, no, wait. That wouldn't be right, actually. Yeah, Nick Cloak. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Cloak. I just had to make sure I had that right. Alright. But yeah, we see that when he was scouring his house looking for drugs, he saw that plane fly over, and that kind of tied in a little bit. So, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this, if this will just never get brought up again, um, or if they're going to go back to this in season 2. I really don't know. So it's really tough to say. But overall, that was pretty much the end of this short little web series. And overall, I've decided not to do number grades anymore because I kind of gets confusing sometimes. I'm just gonna do strictly letter grades, and I didn't. So F is like failing. D will be like in the D range will be like it wasn't great, but it really wasn't that good either, but it passed. C's like fine, and B will be good to really good, and A's like great to fantastic, stuff like that. If I had to rate this was pretty solid. I don't think it was anything great, but I thought it was a pretty solid little web series they did. I definitely would have to give this. I'll give this a C plus. It was pretty solid. Really don't have any issues with it. I thought. I think the thing that made this kind of tough is um, some of these characters you really couldn't get much invested in because it's a short little series. They can only do a short little innuendo of character development, but it was enough. But I thought like the story was enough where you didn't really need to have a lot of great characters, and I thought it was just some pretty solid stuff. So I don't really have any issues with this. Um, Going over now the cast that was a part of this series. Brendan Mayer played Jake Powell. Michelle An played Alex, who was previously known as Charlie. I don't know what that means, if she was supposed to be Charlie in this episode or whatever. Kathleen Gady played Deirdre. Lisa Watts played Suzanne. Brett Reckaby played Marcus. Kevin Sizemore played Anthony. And Shella Shaw played Connie. This was just some random person Jake talked to, telling him that his mom had like a layover and stuff. I didn't even remember who she was, and I had to kind of look it up. And one thing we can take of note is Michelle An and ended up winning an award for this show. She ended up winning an Emmy Award in 2016 for Outstanding Actress in a Short Form Comedy or Drama Series. She didn't win it, actually. She was nominated for it. I'm sorry. She was nominated for this award, but she didn't win it. But that's still a pretty good accolade that you were nominated for the award. But yeah, overall, this was pretty solid stuff. Now I'm going to probably start to watch Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead. I'll try to come on here as soon as I possibly can to give you a review of it. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers YouTube channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.